when your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose and leave the things that kept you chained. So when you find the strength to really shed your skin, all you really need to do is search within. When the road is long and hard and without end, and you feel like nothing's waiting around the bend, all good things will always come to those who wait. If you hold on to your pride and stand up straight, so there is comfort to be found in living thin. And all you really need to do is search within. There's one way to walk this earth if you plan to come out alive. One step at a time with your head held high. So when you find the strength to really shed your skin, all you really need to do is search within. All you really need to do is search within.
Hey, happy Sunday evening, everyone. Let's do a sound check. We're doing new mics, wireless mics tonight, so you should hear us loud and clear.
It's our little fuzzy friends.
Little fuzzy friends. Did we play that scene yet from the K9 training where you said, my little friend? Oh, no, that was the hike. That was the Jonesboro drive.
There's been so much.
Yep, there's been a lot going on. Anyone, let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
We got good sound.
Cool.
Want to welcome everyone. Welcome our mods, Eve and Marlena. Oh, my mouse is missing. Welcome to the live Dreamweaver. Who else here? Vicky, good to see you. Well, I need to say hi to Vicky too. She's not only your friend. Dreamweaver 2. Was there a Dreamweaver 1? Oh, that's cool. And we'll say hi to the rest of you as you all come in. Please like, and if you've never subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. It always helps having more people following us. I want to thank, of course, I need to do this. This is very important. I want to thank our members, because our members are pretty much committing every month to helping with, hey, John McLean, good to see you, and Melon Madness, with the ongoing gas, maintenance on the vehicle, our trips to search. We recently went to Pennsylvania for training Moon and equipment. It's definitely overwhelming sometimes how much goes into this. But we have a growing, we have all of you, our entire tribe, anyone who subscribed to the channel. Huge thank you to you, because the more people we have, the more views we have. That ad revenue is the only thing allowing us to do what we do. We don't get donations. Randomly we do from people that are viewing, but it's mostly just ad revenue, you guys. And when people say, why do you post stuff on YouTube? Why do you post searches on YouTube? We couldn't do this. Like, I'm sorry, you guys, but like, I got 2 daughters in college and I just could not afford to do this if it wasn't for ad revenue. And families understand, like families of the missing are like, absolutely. And they want us there. When most families, when we reach out to them, are like, yes, we want any help. We understand, like we tell them, we're not yet 100% certified. We have our FEMA certification, but not our StarTech yet. Moon is just getting started, so we can't offer a whole lot, but we hike a lot and we spend a lot of time in the woods. And they are just like, anything you can do to help, because in Li's case, people have either given up or something. So it's we don't ask them for money, obviously. Do not ask families for money, families of the missing, for money. So the only thing supporting us is ad revenue. The only additional thing supporting us that's growing slowly is all of you who decide to become a member. And it's pretty cheap. I think the basic one is, I don't know, $6 or something, if that, a month. And then there's higher levels. So we've got huge thank you to the Real Rock and Robin. She's a tribal warrior level for 8 months. Yvonne Sanders, 8 months. Robin, another Robin, for 2 months. Jason Myers, 3 months. John Odell, 423 Pythons. Margie T. Laura Jones, Janice, Jessica DeBrower, TN Twister. Met him on the Michael Small search. Thank you for your support too. And Abigail Rose is a brand new member as of 3 days. So we'll try to mention our members. We'll try to mention all of you as long as we can. I don't know, as this channel grows, if we'll be able to. Yeah, Dreamweaver, we have memberships. I tried to make them very cheap. Like, and we don't, I'll tell you one thing, I didn't know how to do memberships, because I don't like to make things exclusive. Like, people can't see some content. So we played around with, like, when we were investigating cases, having a live where our members helped us talk through things. It went okay, but it just didn't feel the same to me,
right,
as like talking to everyone, in an actual live. It was fun and it was really helpful.
It was fun.
So what we're doing now for members is that we are going to start doing more like bloopers, things that I don't want to be public.
I'm the head of that.
Yeah, like
that.
Stupid things we've done during hikes. I have some major face plants and just stuff like that.
Just Ryan in general.
In general, yes, that I don't put out public. We're gonna publish some of those for you all to see, kind of behind the scenes stuff. So that'll be members. But the biggest thing members get is when we put up our videos, most of them we put them up members first. So members get early access to our videos, and we're trying to come up with other ideas to kind of thank you all for your support month to month. So the last thing, we are going to get to summer big time. We have a lot to talk about. I know it's business. You've got to, it's business. That's all. You've got to take care of business first, and then you get down to business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dreamweaver, too, for watching our ads. That's actually helpful.
Oh, thank you.
I am guilty of, like, when I watch other channels, I do just like, I don't watch it. Although on TV, you have no choice sometimes. You just have to. And they're pretty quick. Like, I was happy one time we previewed one of my videos. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind the ads that they're playing, and they're fairly quick.
Yeah.
Like this.
So, I mean, you can get up and get a snack, go to the bathroom.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know.
The one last thing I want to get before we start jumping into the Summerwells case. I know, Robin. Let me get back to my chat.
Thank you, Robin. Can you tell that Ryan has a sunburn?
Dude, you guys, if my face looks red, I just went on a Summerwell search today, actually. I'll tell you a little bit about that. And you guys know, if you live around here, it's and thank you,
Oh,
Robin.
today
I know that, Robin, but I just, we need to do something for you guys too. It just feels right. But thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate that. There was I'll talk to about the search today for the Summerwell search I did today, but it was 95 degrees today, which you in East Tennessee, all of you know how insane it was, and I don't know why I did that.
really hot. And I don't know why he did it either.
Hey, Cheryl Metcalf, because I'll tell you, that's part of what we're talking about tonight is the Summerwell's case has driven me crazy. I want to talk through things with all of you. I want to get ideas from all of you. This is a working session.
Yeah.
Because things have changed, obviously. There's new information that came out about the case, and Jen and I have been struggling ever since we took so we'll get to that. We'll get to the struggle. I do want to talk about, this is really important to me, guys. Anybody watching this who either subscribes to our channel for any other reason, whether it's when we cover disasters, whether it's the searches or a specific case, the recent videos I've been publishing, it's a couple last week and then a couple this week, is the trip Jen and I took to PA, to Pennsylvania, to meet with Butch and Rachel, expert canine search trainers, where we've started training Moon on HRD and live tracking. That's what we started doing there. We were going to do HRD, and we discovered out of the blue from the testing they did, hey, T and Twister, good to see you, that she has a special gift for finding people alive, like people who are hiding somewhere and alive. She just stood out, and it blew our minds. So there's two things. And but the thing with those videos I noticed is, and this is YouTube, this is just the thing with YouTube, is most YouTubers skip that part. Like influencers train and train and train, they screw up, they make mistakes, and then they get to the level where it looks awesome and they're getting successes, they start publishing. Like most of the time you don't.
What do you mean?
Most of the time you don't see the hard work, the pain, the mistakes, looking like an idiot, not finding, you know what I mean? Like, and we want you guys, we really want to share the journey with all of you. And I say this on the end of my last video at the training, is Moon doesn't know what she's doing right now. Like, it's obvious. Like, if you watch the first video, she was more interested in the people than she was the pipes where the HRD was. But you could see when later in the weekend, and you'll see in the later videos, moments, special moments when she catches a whiff, her head turns and she goes straight toward it. And slowly, like the process of us teaching her and letting her make mistakes, that's going to be on video. That's going to be on her early first training. And we want, if you haven't seen the videos, please go and watch those, because if you have watched those years from now, or maybe hopefully less than years, when we are at the point when she is a expert, when she is certified and just on point every time, you all will have been with us from day one. You will have seen the whole journey. And
since the weekend that we did, since the seminar, I feel like it's become our passion project.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, but it's so, I mean, it's not totally different from what this channel's about, but that's
a good question, Cheryl. And one of my titles actually used HRD, and I bet a lot of people don't know what that is. HRD is human remains detection, basically cadaver dogs. And we are working really hard to get Moon certified in cadaver searches. And apparently also missing what they call live tracking, which is if a child goes missing in the early days, you volunteer, take your dog out, and basically an article of clothing, an article of something, you have them sniff it, and they find them. And she seems to really, without training, she already is able to that. So I just want to share that with you all. They haven't done very well so far, and I just think
poor Ryan.
I know, and
He put so much freaking work into it. I've got to tell you. And he's so sad.
I'm
He's been hard to live with. I gotta tell you
No,
guys.
I'm
All
not.
your friends.
Stop it. I'm not sad. I
Oh
know.
my gosh.
I know how the YouTube algorithm works, you guys, and I know most of our viewers. They want to see searches, like they want to see
We totally get
searches
this.
for missing people, and they want to see nature. They love nature. I know this about our demographic, and they want to see the stories of like people who are going through things, whether it's a disaster, whether it's a missing family. It's okay. Like I get it. That's the algorithm. That's our audience. And this is just like canine training. It's not our audience, and I get that.
Yeah,
But
right.
I'm asking you all to understand how it fits into missing persons and
Yeah.
our future and everything. And so, if you can, just there's going to be 4 videos. Our trip to get insights from search dogs is the first one. Watch canine search dogs finding missing people is the next one. That one is really crazy because I saw a dog find a person in 7 minutes.
That's crazy.
It was all the way
Yes.
across, like it was just insane. And
Yeah.
that's the one. I think that's the one where Moon did an HRD test. And then the next one coming up
Right.
tomorrow, I got into a bite suit. Now I have a feeling that one.
Favorite.
I'm not worried about. I'm honestly not worried about that one because the thumbnail is me in a bite suit holding my arm with the dog coming at me, and I'm sure plenty of people out there would love to see me get attacked by a dog. So that one I'm sure is going to do fun. And that one's also the one that we were the most proud of Moon.
Yeah.
She
did not do the bite suit.
No,
She
she's not
didn't
doing
bite.
that.
She whatever.
That one tomorrow, Monday, is the one where we learn surprisingly that she has a natural gift for live tracking, and
Right.
you guys will be the first to see it, and you'll see what I mean. Blew our minds. It blew Rachel. You'll see what she says over and over and over when she's watching Moon.
It was like that really made
Yeah.
me smile.
I did put a short up, so you actually, if you saw the short, that's a clip from the one tomorrow. And then the last one is called "This Canine Search Dog Handler Was Very Quiet," so I asked for her story. That one is a really emotional interview with Nina Rose, one of the instructors, canine instructors, and she explained why she started searching. Almost made me tear up. I saw a tear come down her face, and it was.
You're a big old softie.
I am a big old
I'm
softie.
make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I mean, let's just say, hey, Sharon from Canada, thanks for joining us.
Yes. I love seeing people from other countries
Me
joining.
too.
I always heard cadaver work is mentally hard in dogs. I asked them that while we were there, WV Jeeper, and they said it can be. Like during the Hurricane Helene flooding aftermath, there were dogs having issues. Like they had to pull some dogs, and they said yes. I mean, after a while, dogs. It's really weird, you guys. They think it's a game. Like they think it's a game because they want to get their ball or they want to get the treat if they're food driven. But I don't know. Like I don't think finding human remains to them means anything. But I think to them, what probably impacted the dogs during Hurricane Helene was experiencing the emotions of the people in the area, people who were suffering. Like I think dogs are empathic, in my opinion.
Too. Like I think Lil can feel people's energy because I can tell if she doesn't like somebody, like if she has a weird feeling about somebody.
Yeah. Hey Sharon and Jack from England. I love English people.
Don't even try.
I love their accent.
Oh my gosh, Ryan.
I'm not gonna do. No. No, I wasn't trying to fake the English accent.
That was really
can't fake the English accent. I cannot. I think Katrina can really well. She's done it before, but I can't.
Katrina's our daughter, by the way.
Katrina, our daughter. So that's all that. Let's get to summer.
Yes.
Let's get to summer. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about a few other things, but we'll jump to summer.
Yeah.
I do have to mention, I'm sorry, you guys, we went to Kelly Cloyd's Celebration of Life.
Oh,
sorry, it's Stephen Cloyd's Celebration of Life this weekend. That video, I'm actually putting that out Wednesday. The news covered it. I'm not going to take the time to show you. I was thinking of it but to show you the news clips, they covered it. They caught me playing with my phone at one point.
Oh, great. Maybe they want to make fun of you because you're YouTuber.
Probably, yeah. It was beautiful, you guys. And unlike the news media, which they did a good job. I'm not gonna say anything bad about the news media. They do these clips, like and they didn't even show, one of them didn't even show Kelly talking, and you saw her statement. It was so emotional.
I
And
think that would be like one of the most important parts.
yeah, and they only showed her poem that she wrote, and I think they paraphrased it. I don't know. Oh, no, they showed a segment of her telling her poem, and his son Matthew, who we met for the first time there.
He's awesome.
Well,
oh my gosh, what good energy.
Yes, we're very good friends with him. Hey, Brandy, good to see you. We became very good friends with Matt through text when we were going through the whole working with Kelly and the whole case. And I felt so close to Matt, and meeting him in person was like overpowering because Matt's such a cool guy. He's so much like his father, actually, from what I've heard. So Wednesday we'll have that coverage. We'll be showing as much as we can without boring people, because I know people have like short attention spans, and you can only show 10 minutes of content before they click off. I'm sorry. Look, I've been doing a lot of research, you guys, into creating videos, like making interesting videos. And I'm reading a book called How to Make Your Videos Not Suck. And one of the #1 tips of making interesting videos is you can't have more than 10 seconds of a clip, or your video sucks. And I'm thinking back to my videos, and I'm like, man, I stayed on like a person talking for like 20 minutes in some of my videos. Somehow you all tolerate the terrible editing skills, so they'll get better.
Response or reaction channels all the time. All they do is talk and show clips.
Yeah.
And I watch them all the way through. They're 2 hours long, and I'm watching the whole
Maybe
thing.
true crime is a special breed of viewers.
True crime, though, like response videos to TikTok.
That's true. Maybe it's different when it's dialogue, and the dialogue is what people are interested in. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tangent.
Well, hopefully you all enjoy that. You're gonna be like you're there at the live. I'm gonna at the celebration of life for Kelly
It was
and
very nice.
the Cloyd family. I really want to make a special, interesting video that highlights Steven's life. They had things out that showed just his personality and his life.
Photos.
Lots of photos, jerseys that he wore, and then the statements from them, which were so powerful, so amazing, and so you'll feel like you're there as much as I can, and that'll be Wednesday, hopefully. So, Summer Wells, what a case. You all probably noticed, and I know certain people noticed, that we slowed down. Obviously, Helene, I put a post out asking all of you, do you think we should just stick to only missing persons cases, or like we'd like to head over with Vern and do some searches and in the disaster area? And then we started meeting people, and we want to tell the stories. And people who commented on our channel were like, you guys do whatever the heck you want. Like, like we'll watch. So we covered the disaster for a while, which was actually interesting because it gave us a mental break.
Well, I don't know. That might be you. It affected me. I don't know if you guys realized how I kind of dropped off for a while there. It was, I'm feeling choked up right now. It was a lot.
The Helene disaster was hard on Jen, especially. She felt everyone's. When we were in those areas, she just couldn't stay there for very long. Like, she wanted to go home. She wanted to go back to the Airbnb when we were there. And I know. But what I meant was it was a break from thinking about the complexity and the horror of the Summer case. Yeah. Like, we were able to take a short break.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Dreamweaver. And that break, you guys, as we were getting into telling stories, like we went to Damascus, interviewed the mayor. If you haven't seen that, that's a really cool interview, by the way. We started realizing we were okay with it. We should get back. We can get back to the Summer case again, and we started looking through our notes. then we heard that news. Like, we were like, there's
Make sure
a
they. Oh, shit. It's Stephen. Probably Stephen Cloyd. Just may ask who this person was. Down, 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 up, up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always assume people know these cases. I'm so sorry. Stephen Cloyd was a victim of Helene. He lived in Jonesboro area. It's technically like near Bumpus Cove, but he got swept away in a Jeep with his dog. They found the dog alive, and he was missing for a long time until like last month, I think it came out. We covered some of our past videos. We covered when that came out that they found human remains, and now they had a celebration of life. So that's who it was. And Kelly Cloyd is his wife. Matt's his son. I don't know his other children's names. I think he has 2 more sons.
Like I know he has one.
Yeah.
There was another boy there, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't.
I saw that, Vicky. What in the world? More flooding, and there was a mudslide. Some roads got destroyed.
It was just bad all the way around.
But it keeps happening. Like, that was recent.
The only light, through the storm, so to say, was all those people that took part in it. Okay, we're getting on the tangent. You want to talk about summer?
No, it's okay. It's true that's why I wanted to start telling the stories of the people who were there helping.
Yeah.
At the Stephen Cloyd celebration of life, I met Garnett Pierce. If you guys don't know who Garnett is, she went into that area. She actually worked with some of the dog teams. I'm not going to say who because there's drama there, but she started working on her own. I love her Jeep. You'll see it on the video. You guys, she bought a Jeep in 2023 before the hurricane, and she named her Jeep Steve. And fast forward hurricane, Steve goes missing, Stephen Cloyd. She leaves that dog team. She continues distributing and helping people after the hurricane, and then comes in contact with Kelly and starts helping with that case and everything. And I guess she told me at the vigil, Kelly looked at her Jeep and she's like, "Who's Steven?" And Garnett was like, "Why are you asking me who Steven is? Like, that's your husband." Like, what are you talking about? And she realized the Jeep was named Steve. And Kelly was like, "Who's Steve? Why do you have that on your Jeep?" kind of thing. It was just one of those synchronicities, they call it, I guess. That's like, who knew they would have met and that would have happened. But we digress. Man, we digress a lot, don't we?
Say, hey, badass girl, you're from New Zealand? Is that right?
Oh yeah, New Zealand. Nice. We have a lot of
cool.
We have a lot of international viewers, which is really cool. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you. My Jeep is breaking down on me. It's got a Christmas tree of lights on the dashboard. Honestly, it's still running. I think I'm always going to be a Jeep guy. I just hope I can afford the next Jeep. Maybe a used one.
God, everything's so expensive. But we
a white renegade named Tater. That's good. So we slowed down. We did that. And then as we were thinking of ramping up on the Summerwell's case, we were still interviewing people in Damascus. While we were doing that, we're like, okay, where are we going to go next for summer? Then we heard about the DCS case. And
for those of you who don't know,
the DCS case was basically allegations were being investigated by the DCS. We could talk about it now because Don Wells announced a couple weeks ago that the case was finalized. The court ordered DCS. Well, DCS they appealed. The Wells appealed the case. The court was gonna set a hearing, and then DCS just dropped the case. They dismissed it.
Tell them what the case was about.
No, we can't. It's very sensitive and it involves minors. We can't.
Sorry.
So okay, but where was I? So DCS dropped the case, which means the court ordered DCS to call the allegations unsubstantiated. before that came out, the unsubstantiated court finding, Jen and I were like, what do we do? Do we search, knowing that all of this is going on, and if that goes in the other direction, like if it hadn't,
Something could have come out of it.
if it hadn't ended the way it did, if it had gone the other way, Jen and I were sitting there like, well, it's going to be like a domino effect, right? I mean, that's going to come out. We wouldn't draw the conclusion that just because that was true, that they're guilty in the Summer case, because like I said millions of times, the charges had nothing to do with Summer. Guarantee 100%, you guys, we know that the charges were not related to Summer, but they would, we always said and believed, they would have informed the case because it would have given insight into what's going on in the household.
Right.
Well, now it's out. Now it's out that according to the court's ordering DCS to tell everyone. It's unsubstantiated. So as far as those children go, the brothers, the boys, no abuse, you guys.
I thought you weren't supposed to talk about it.
Good point. Well, it was revealed in there in the court finding that there wasn't, and actually Don Wells said it himself. It's about the 3 boys and no abuse.
See it.
Now, a lot of people have countered that with me privately, saying, yeah, but you know, DCS will do that a lot to just not have to put the kids through it, but you know, all that stuff. Like, it doesn't mean it's false. We can't speculate, you guys. Like, we thought this is what we imagined probably was going to happen, and why we were like, we couldn't get ourselves to search because we wanted to see what would happen in this case. And we thought if it became true, if it actually the court found substantiated, that goes public, of course, then YouTube would blow up with everyone saying, well, if that's true, then obviously they're guilty and blah, 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 and like going after the parents even more than they already do. And we thought possibly law enforcement was waiting for that to happen, was just waiting for this case. And if that became true, then we were like, well, maybe there's going to be like a domino effect. And then TBI is going to come out with something shortly thereafter. And so we were just like,
well, I was thinking, like, I know a lot of cases like this go cold after a year or so, I think. And now it's still not considered a cold case. So I was thinking there's a reason for that. And
Angel Girl, I don't know. There's no details. So it's just like DCS dropped it. That's the only thing revealed. We don't know any details. We just know DCS dropped it. And so the court's like, well, the whole case is moot, and you can't say they're substantiated if they're not. So they made it unsubstantiated and told DCS to label it as unsubstantiated. So now when that came out, you guys saw my emotional reaction in my other live where I was just pissed because where I didn't want people drawing the conclusion if it was guilty, that it means the parents are guilty of Summer. Like, we would be defending the parents if it came out and the court said substantiated. We would have said, well, that doesn't mean they're guilty in the Summer case. Well, we would be there saying that.
You can't say that.
And
I mean, you can't say that they would be guilty just because of that.
Right. And what's funny, you guys, is when we were pausing and waiting for this to come out, we actually had some people, only a couple. This is what's crazy about being on YouTube, is there were a couple of viewers. One viewer,
I don't think you told me about
I'm not going to say her name because some people here would be like, yeah, that's not a surprise. But because she's a little bit dramatic, because she's into the drama. But she told me in a text message, I'm like, why are you attacking us on other channels and stuff? Like, why? Yeah, she was. And I'm like, we made up. I thought we were good. Then I find out that she slammed us on some Facebook page somewhere. And I'm like, what's going on? I thought we were good. And she goes, I'm mad because you stopped searching for Summer. I'm like, when did we ever say we stopped searching for Summer? Did we ever say we were done with the case? And that happened a couple of times. Just if you take a pause, people are like, oh, I can't believe you stopped searching for Summer. It blew my mind. Rain Dancer, it could be. That was my first impression when I saw it. I thought maybe they're like, it's not worth it because 2 of the boys are they're adopted. 1 is about to be. Don't know what's going to happen in that case because Don announced something. He made a comment like that they want Josie back, like they want Josie back home. So I don't know if legally that's even a possibility, but you know,
that whole thing,
we are. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna without any. I'm gonna say this as clearly as I can. We never stopped on the summer case. Even when Hurricane Helene was going on, I was constantly talking to people. We had someone who we were talking to locally who literally we wired to have a conversation with someone while that was all going on. Like we were working in the background. We actually, and that's the other thing too, is I want to talk about Jason, the PI. I'm going to talk about him in a little bit because he got a tip that's very not similar as in content, but it was like the same scenario. But we thought we had a tip because we had bugged someone to have a conversation with someone in the I can't say too much because I don't want to get in trouble, but she got a recording that was so, in my opinion, was so damning, but the recording quality sucked because she's horrible with technology. Sorry. No, we love her, but she just, it was like some fan was going on in the background. So I did a whole bunch of work to try to filter out the sound, sent it to TBI, and I'm like, I hope you guys have technology that can filter this because in this conversation, there's some really important information, I think, about people who may be guilty.
Yeah.
And nothing came of it. Nothing came of it. I don't believe they couldn't hear it. I just think that this is what happens. Like you have a tip that you think is important. They know so much more.
Right.
TBI knows everything. To them, it was probably like, we know that claim. We know people are saying that, and that's just not important. Jason Jensen, the brother's tip. At first, when I heard about Jason, I was like, I never really heard of him. Other people told me that he's been on TV, and so he's actually known, but I'd heard of him, and I'm like, here's another person. He only covers high profile cases, as far as I understand. And my first gut reaction was, I don't know about this guy. But then I have a friend who is a friend of his, and he actually did some work for the cold case, not the foundation, the cold case council or something. So he's founded the cold case council. I think it is. Just searching.
Tennessee?
No, just it's called the cold case. It's sort of like the foundation. Sorry. So he has a history of investing time into missing persons, dedicated to it as a PI. And she said, no, he's legit. And then it made me realize, like, okay, that means someone in the community reached out to this guy because he was the one they trusted. And same scenario, like he's like, I've got a tip from the community. He did the right thing and he turned it in to TBI. I hope something comes of it, but I'm not, because of everything we've been through with sending in tips like we think are important. I don't think so. I hope so. But the brothers comment is really interesting. He kind of shared that it was because he put a comment out. No, that it's about a brother. Don't know if it's the brother giving a tip about another brother who's guilty in summer case or who the brothers are, but we know of brothers like in the case. And
definitely brothers.
And it raised my eyebrow because I'm like, I know a particular set of brothers who are in my case notes of people of interest in a small ring, a drug ring. There were like 4 names I had. Everyone know. I'm not going to mention him, but there were 4 names, and there were two. Did I mention that? I'm just going to put it out there because I want to see what people think. Although, if you name real people, is that like?
I don't think that's good.
No.
Let's make sure first.
Yeah, I can't. But
sorry,
guys. I don't ever know if I should actually name people because they're in the community, and this is for entertainment purposes, obviously, but still, you don't want to just start accusing community members. That's something we've always tried not to do. So
yeah.
Oh, you do, Jack? If they're local brothers who are involved or going to be involved in a local like drug stuff,
Right.
then I will. That's where I am. Like I think, but I would be shocked if either one of them were going to tell on each other. So,
Right.
or that they were involved in Summer's case, because that would be a whole line of connections from
Well,
someone who lived on Ben Hill to. I never heard that they were even there in the area at the time, but
definitely someone to work with.
you think so, Katerina, that the Jason Johnson stuff is all hogwash? I started off thinking, yeah, here we go again. And then I've gravitated toward like he could have a legit tip. Okay. I'd like to hear your reasoning if you don't mind sharing, but no, there's not a wait a second, let me check. I'm actually going to go into my notes. I might actually name some people, but just some ideas. Hold on, what was the name that you said? This is all the research I do, Jen. I never said this to you. Jeff or nope. The names, I'll tell you the initials. The first names are started, one is B and one is D. For those who know kind of the drug circles in that area, they'll probably give it away, but B and D. Yes.
Looking at your notes.
Don't say anything. Don't share. There's something on there I can't.
There's just one word that would have nothing to do.
What? Point to it.
He has the name Voldemort.
No. Okay, you guys will get a kick out of this if you follow the Summerwell's case. You will get a kick out of this.
You wouldn't let me say it.
Well, for those who have been in this like drama world, okay, you guys. So you all know we started with Donna Serafina, her clues, because we were like when we're starting, we're like we have nothing. We have no. Let's just go on the psychics that are putting stuff out there, and she was one of the biggest. So I collected all the notes, right? And one of her notes, her pins on her map. She had, you remember, you guys who follow Donna in the Summerwell's case, do you remember when she was like rolling hills? She kept saying rolling hills. One of her pins was labeled Voldemort's father's place at Rolling Hills. And that's what Jen just played.
Voldemort. What are we reading?
She has no clue who was called Voldemort in so
thing to do with this whole case.
No, watch the drive with Andy that I did early. Remember when I said you're oh no, I said monster. He said Voldemort. So for your sake, his ex always called him Voldemort. Yeah, the one who should be. Yeah. So obviously, yeah, Jen is more into the places and the feelings at places, and not so much the drama and the case details and who's talking about who and what other channels are doing.
It definitely affects me, but it affects me too much. So I try not to deal with that stuff as much. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely have feelings about the whole thing. Ryan would want me to share my feelings about it, about all this stuff. I don't know.
Do you believe she did, Katerina? I know people are like half and half. I know that Sweetie Pie Low, is that her name?
I have no idea.
She's 100% convinced. I mean, her channel, she said, yes, Donna solved it.
She did?
Oh, who's in the house?
Hey, Lord Voldemort, thank you.
Lord Voldemort himself.
Lord Voldemort.
Okay, you don't. Yeah, I'll tell you, a lot of people, I mean, I don't want to say this. So,
oh my gosh, Ryan.
We talk with Cher, you know, on cases and just all the stuff, and she's made it perfectly clear that she's like, heck no, Donna's wrong. Then we've got like a whole bunch of members, a whole bunch of subscribers, viewers who are like, absolutely, Donna knows. Donna's right on. And then we probably have just as many people who are like, heck no.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's like that. Yeah, okay, well, If you don't believe it, I think a lot of people probably agree with you. A lot of people don't.
Yeah. I really don't
I
know.
don't believe anyone that's been on YouTube from that area. Oh, okay. You mean like locals who are on YouTube?
Do you mean YouTubers or do you mean
Or you mean people talked about on YouTube? I do know these two brothers. I don't remember them ever being talked about. Chad Arnold all the time. People talk about Chad Arnold left and right. This isn't one of those. Maybe one of them, maybe the big guy, but
I don't know.
unless Donna can backdate her videos, she needs spot on the YouTube since she saw it. We take a neutral stance. I've always tried to take a neutral stance on all of the psychic readings because half of them send us into God knows where, and a lot
Not
of
the right
times,
place.
and a lot of times Jen's like,
basically.
"What in the world are we doing here? Why are we here?"
Just, you know, give me a gander at those at those predictions.
Okay.
Just what?
And okay. Oh, so you mean the people mentioned on YouTube. I'm starting to think like that too, Jack, honestly, because like you'd think if that was
Jackie.
true, Jackie, sorry. If that was true, if one of those people were involved with all of the attention on them, I think they would crack. Like someone, if they were guilty.
You know what? But if they were pure evil, they'd think it was funny to have that, and they'd like it.
They'd like it.
Oh yeah, a lot of
narcissists. You like attention.
should I say that? Oops. A lot of leaders really enjoy being in the limelight, and they, revel in it. And I think everybody's stupid.
Yeah.
But so far, they've proved that to be true because nothing's happened. Sorry.
The thing with that tip, Katerina, is that I don't think the PI. Originally I thought that he was attention seeking, or how Don would say it, clout chaser. I thought maybe that's his case, but once I found out his background and learned more about what he does, and he really does get interested. He does do cases. It seems like he is authentic. I can't think of the right word, you guys. I'm sorry.
Has he worked on any cases that you might have heard about?
Yeah, big, high profile. So I'm kind of thinking like some local just legitimately sent him a tip, but you could be right. The person sending in the tip is just another person who's got a theory. You know what I mean? That's just like,
who kept stealing Don's tools?
Marlena and who the second person was. I have it in a chat with someone. You'll have to refresh my memory. It was Marlena and someone else. That's really good. You just sparked a memory. I have to look at my chat now.
Oh boy.
I do have that. That's a good point. Don did put that out there publicly, which means I can mention it. Facebook Messenger. Let's see if I can find this. Right, chat.
Burglary gone on. It's possible.
No, but it highlights the name.
Sorry.
And if you remember, Robin, please save me the time of having to search through this chat.
Jeez.
Let me search for the name Marlena, because I know someone had mentioned that story before, and there was Marlena was one, I think. Crawford, obviously. I can't find it. Oh, this is the problem. I have so many chats in so many different places.
Well, maybe
Don said Marlena and her brother. Okay. I thought it was someone else. Yeah, I think that's is that Ricky?
Her other wait.
Marlena's brother. I don't know. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't Ricky. I don't think.
Say other.
I'm gonna have to find that, or if somebody could find it. That when Don had mentioned who stole his tools, because I do think the second person with Marlena that he mentioned was one of the brothers, or two people involved that are brothers. But anyway, Katerina could be correct, and it's just someone who has a theory and is sending this poor PI on a wild goose chase and getting him to send in a tip. But anyway, how did I get down that road? Let me get back to my thinking thought process here.
Goodness.
Yeah, we had a call with people tell us who are mad at us, and
I mean, our whole lives are not shown on YouTube.
practically.
I mean, well, we do a lot of things behind the scenes that, you know, you don't see. What am I saying?
Are you tired?
There are a lot of things we do behind the scenes that you don't see. Yeah.
It's behind the scenes. That's the definition.
You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Okay, this is where I was headed, you guys. And I got it way off track with the PI thing. I'm sorry, because I have thoughts on that too, and I would love to talk to him if he'd want to talk, because I would like his thoughts on some of the notes I have collected. I don't care about the tip. I won't ask him for information about that, but I'm just curious. If he starts looking into the case, it would be amazing. I mean, the more the merrier, you guys. Most people go after anyone new to the case and start like attacking them like they did to us. I'm like, the more the merrier. I mean, if a PI wants to jump on this case and start comparing notes and researching,
Hey,
and
any information is.
please, dude, solve the case. Like, get answers for summer. That would be awesome. Where we are now, the DCS case didn't provide any answer. Well, it provided the other side of the opposite answer we expected, and I apologize to the Wells. We expected the opposite outcome. Great news that it was unsubstantiated, and we have to stick to our original statement. I said if it was substantiated, that would inform the case.
Yeah.
Well, it's unsubstantiated.
Correct.
Does that inform the case? Does that direct where we go going forward? Do we drop all the areas that are related to looking at if it was the parents?
I mean, if it's related, or it's related to the case.
What I'm saying is, to be fair, do we take the fact that the court found those allegations to be unsubstantiated? Do we incorporate that into our where do we look next? Like, we have all these theories about, well, if it was hypothetically the parents, do we stop doing that now? No. I'm curious what you all think. Do we stop looking at theories, hypotheses that would be based on if the parents did it, hypothetically? I really want to know. Like, this is what we've been struggling with now after this came out.
Something I don't understand. I don't know what I'm supposed to say when I'm not. So
you're allowed to. I mean, as long as you're not like attacking people, you can say it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there is things were unsubstantiated, but there is the fact that the boys were taken away by DCS.
Say that again.
The boys were taken away by DCS.
Or that's a good point.
I mean, that hasn't changed. So there has to be a reason for that. The biggest thing about DCS is they want to keep families together. So, you know, if they didn't return the boys to their parents, there's got to be a good reason.
So if the boys, if like the oldest does not go back, then that does show something.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
that's a good point.
The fact that they've I'm sorry, I don't know how much this is, but the fact that they've let the other boys be adopted, they wouldn't have done that.
The Wells, the way the Wells explain it is that they were forced to sign over the boys.
You can't be forced to sign over
they felt that the kids were unsafe because he likes to blame YouTubers for everything. They're saying YouTubers going on the property, and they felt it was unsafe. So they signed their rights over to the boys.
Yeah. Angel girl, I agree with you. Thank you. I'm not gonna just okay. I'll shut up.
But I didn't want to you guys are our subscribers. Like it happens every time we talk about something that there's two sides. People believe they're on one side or the other. And whenever we talk about it, our subscribe count is like, sorry for using this word, but it's literally bipolar. It is. We see the shift in our subscribers. Like we've always tried to stay neutral. And so like we have both camps. And when we hint one way or the other, if we talk about something that goes in the other direction, like it might sound like it's against the Wells, or if something we say sounds like it's for the Wells, like we lose people and we gain people. If we go the other way, we lose some of those people and we gain other. Like there's always this like the one side or the other. I don't know why people can't just. We don't know the truth, so you can't take either side 100%. Like you can't stay on one side and say it's true. You have to just keep your mind open. But there were some other comments I did want to cover real quick. Starred. Brandy said, do you think the Advocacy Center getting Summers reward money could have influenced the decision? Man.
That's a good question.
I never even thought of that.
Really good question.
Yeah, that's a good point. Katerina said at this point 4 years. We woke up. Yeah. Related to the PI. I agree. Sorry, I don't want to miss some comments, so like I'm just starring the ones that I want to comment.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Katerina. I mean, we don't want to piss people off who are on one side or the other, and we have to talk about these things because it could go either way. And if you're really trying to find a location that is legitimate, if you start, that's where right now I'm struggling, because I'm like, do we start like do we exclude those? That's like half of the locations, you guys. Honestly. It's like half of the locations.
I have a really hard time with these lives because I always end up looking back at them and saying, why did I say that? Oh my God, Ryan, are people mad at me because I said this or that?
Oh, I don't know.
My headaches.
I guess the court finding it unsubstantiated should inform the case. However, what people here pointed out so far is also true, that the boys still aren't home. So we can't 100% say it means
it could have nothing to do with Summer.
It could have nothing to do with
Summer. I totally agree with that.
And we still don't have, regardless of that case, we have no additional information about Summer's case. So we can't change our tactic, I guess. Right? Yeah. Oh, Auntie Sherry.
Lipstick. What's up with that?
Remember the other night when I stayed up until 4 a.m. chatting
with a bunch of women?
Auntie Sherry was there, and Auntie Sherry, I want to tell you something. Watching you on Jenky's channel usually, and last night you made a comment. You said when you were younger, people made fun of you because you were one of the smarter kids. You were probably back in the time when they made fun of nerds, right? The nerdy kids, the smart ones.
Yeah.
And I picked that up from you. I noticed that you like to pretend to be goofy. You like to just.
That sounds like you.
But when she starts diving into a topic, she'll start telling you about the history of things. And oh yeah, and I just love that about Auntie Sherry. It's one of the reasons I go to Janky sometimes to just pass the time.
4 a.m.
I lose track of time.
He's not in trouble, don't worry.
I will be honest, I watch a lot ever since Summer's case began. I'm observant, skeptical, but I always try to say in my opinion. Me too. Yes, I agree. That's always a good idea, because so many people out there are like, I believe this, and nobody's going to convince me otherwise. And it's like, well, there could be evidence at some point that convinces you otherwise. I mean.
Good night, Dreamweaver, too.
Good night, Dreamweaver.
For coming.
Tony Gammons and his brother was in that car when he tried to abduct that. Oh no, Tony, that's not his name. It's Tony Hammonds. That was probably a typo.
Yeah.
You got, oh man, that case drew my attention when somebody, I think it might have been our mentor,
Yeah.
she was convinced for a while that Tony, that story, that news story, I'll pull it up for you guys. For those of you who don't know, if I can find it, that drew my attention for so long. And, some of the other YouTubers / investigators we work with were like, no, that's not related. And the police said it wasn't related. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I hope I could find it. 12 boy, there it is. I'll show you guys this, what we're talking about, for those of you who haven't heard about this. It's crazy. Yeah, I didn't remember his brother being in the car. I thought it was, anyway, let's take a look. Neighbor police, I hope this is the right one. Okay, Kingsport man is behind bars after an attempted abduction in the 3900 block of Skyline Drive last Thursday. Kingsport police charged Tony Hammonds, 58, with attempted, especially aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, and simple assault. The investigation revealed that a 12-year-old boy was mowing his yard when a vehicle drove by. The vehicle returned soon thereafter, pulled into the driveway, and an individual got out of that vehicle, approached the boy, ran toward him, yelled, "Come here, boy," and then the boy actually ran away. And the guy, chased him into the garage, through his garage. The child got into the house, and then the subject actually tried to gain entry into the house forcibly and was ultimately unsuccessful in doing that. The child's mother was in the house. She threatened to call the police, and of course she did. When he heard that threat, he fled the area. Before we got there, we, of course, obviously conducted a full investigation, searched for the suspect, and they arrested him. 2 days later, I don't remember there being anyone else in the car. But what drew the attention of our mentor, who mentioned this to us, was when this happened. It was June 21, 2021. It was in June 2021, literally, like the same month. And so the police put out a thing after. It might be in this article, actually, but they all recognized people were thinking it was related to Summer's case, and they said they dismissed that and said it's not related. What else is in here?
That's another thing we could look into.
Yeah, we could. I was outside with my little one just playing in the front yard, saw the maroon car. I didn't know it was a maroon car. That's interesting. The guy looked at me and I saw him pulling into my neighbor's driveway. It's like,
oh, this chair. He put me in the very uncomfortable chair.
The timing was crazy, you guys, when this happened. But the fact that the cops said, I mean, you would think they would know, unless they're trying to cover it up. I don't know, but they said they looked into it and it wasn't related. But a 12-year-old boy is that's creepy. It's just crazy. I need to make sure I get the first comment right. Back in the beginning, there was an anonymous neighbor who stated the Wells spent 2 days cleaning up the yard of beer cans, garbage, the couch, a swimming pool. Lady who noticed an older woman and another one dumping trash. And these are comments. These are like things like that are, yeah, someone claimed they saw, maybe they saw that, but like, how do you know if it's not a rumor? I'm going to share some of my research notes with you guys. Like, through the years, some of the rumors that I've heard, and I would love to hear if you guys have heard similar rumors, if you have more information about these rumors, but this is an example of what you just shared, right? About a lady who noticed an older woman and another one dumping trash at a county landfill. They weren't residents in the time period, and the Wells at the same time were cleaning up their yard. Like that's one of those rumors, right? And you can go down a whole rabbit trail of that one. Here's another one. Do you guys remember the whole crazy story that came out that who was it? Richard. It was the Tucker drywall, and huge dose of salt. This is a rumor. I'm going to say this is not true because we're
Okay.
talking about an actual person here, and don't believe this. This is one of those stories people made up
That's crazy.
with no evidence, nothing to support it. So all disclaimers, we are not saying this is true. Entertainment purposes only. I don't know what else I have to say.
Always say.
But this is one of those
Okay,
rumors.
we say
And
allegedly.
it's one of those I started. These are the rabbit holes. I'm going to share
You
with
have
you.
to say allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you. Allegedly. I'm going to say it after every other word. These are the rabbit holes I've gone down, you guys. Maybe you can pick up, and maybe it's not a rabbit hole, but all of these are rabbit holes I was forced to go down over the years.
Tell me if you have any.
And they're dead ends. Like I hit dead ends on every one of them. And I'm sharing this with you guys because we're desperate. I need to know. I want to go boots on the ground. We're training Moon. She'll be able to start picking up on HRD. Bone's going to take longer, but we're going to definitely do bones, maybe even water, and of course live searches. But for the HRD, we're going to get her to the point where we can take her places. I want good damn places. I want places that are not just like some psychic said a hill out in the middle of nowhere and there's no evidence.
Railroad track.
So if you're doing research on this case, on Summer's case, and you think you have evidence pointing to a location that you would love to see searched, please tell me. Please let us know. We want to do it.
We want to go.
We want to search, and we want good places, not guesses and random things. I'm down to random things, you guys. Today, I went to Sinking Waters Trail. And the only reason I went there is because it's near the horse stables. So I'm like, okay, hypothetically, if something happened at the swimming place, they needed a nearby secluded spot. I never heard about this trail. I was like looking on the map and I'm like, there's a trail right behind the horse stables. And it starts out in the middle of nowhere. And I went there today and it's actually pretty secluded. So that's where I am. Like I'm searching places there. Hey,
you
maybe
didn't do a full
area.
search of it yet, though, did you?
I did a scouting, initial one that I wanted to decide whether I should take you and Moon.
Yeah.
Now that we're imprinting Moon a little bit to see if her behavior changes, but that's where I am, you guys. So we need help. We need help with ideas, where to go. I would like to hear TN Twister. I thought your name changed. I thought you were TN Twister. Twister. I like Twister better. No, yeah, I like Twister better.
Jackie says where the footprints were.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I take that back. I'm not down to just random places. That is a good point. There is a place. There's a specific hollow that Andy told me the name of too. I was asking him about the whole area, and I'm like, "What's that dark mark right there?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, we call that something hollow." And to me, this footprint pattern that was at Ben Hill, like right near Fred's place, and then behind Gorley's, and all kind of pointed in that direction. That's at the top of my list. And what's so hard about that location is private property, but I'm at the point where I'm willing to just go drive up there and like literally just have a chat with that person at the end of that road and see if they'll just let us take a look. And it's not that far off the road. I think it's 600 to 1,000 feet. So if I have GPS, I won't get lost. But the other problem we have, besides having to get permission, is that this is an area that's very heavily with hidden, like tucked away meth lab cookers out there in the middle of nowhere. You don't know who you're going to come across in the woods over there. And especially, that might be it, Robin. I just didn't want to share. But yes, that's one location. That's okay. Because when people know where you want to go, then they start talking to the people, and it's just they cause so many freaking problems. But yeah, there's the drug issue. There's you don't know who's out there. Andy literally looked scared when it was at the end of one of the roads, and he's like, "I don't really want. I'm like, could I hike this?" He goes, "I wouldn't. I wouldn't."
Should listen to him.
Why not? He wouldn't really say. He didn't want to say there's bad people out here, but he's like, you just don't want to be around here alone, out here alone. So
Yeah.
that's why in that area, it's at the top of my list. I would need a crew of armed people setting up a perimeter around me and Jen and Moon, and doing that kind of operation and getting permission from the landowner. I don't know when it's going to happen. I want it to happen, and I'm going to try to keep working on it, but we need.
It's one of those things that it's going to take time.
It's going to take a while. But yes, I agree. That's one of the best places. Absolutely.
Billy.
Hey, Chibilly. And yeah, that is another place that we can't get into.
The owner is a cool guy, though.
If you know the cool guy, Chillbilly, I will freaking pay you. I'll do anything. That's another area. Yes. Limestone Branch, end of Ben Hill. I want to get in there, especially when we get moon trained. But
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories about specific things to look for. Of course, some of them are psychic, but whatever. I mean, there's legit people who know that area, and they're like, yeah, if you're gonna hide anything, straight down there, look for caves, there's creeks, there's like deep creeks, that kind of thing with the rocks. So I actually would freaking pay someone to let me just get in there.
I'm going to say
But
thank you to Erin.
I'm missing a lot of comments. I'm sorry.
No, she gave us a
Erin, thank you.
thank you, Erin.
Like I said earlier, we don't get a whole lot of those. So every time we do, it's like,
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Scalded Sky. I'm not sure what. I just want to let you know that I met Stephanie Harlow
What?
at Crime Con.
Oh yeah.
When those two people's comment. Oh yeah, Stephanie Harlow. Well, she and Derek did a whole thing about Summer Wells on what Crime Weekly.
Crime Weekly, and we met them at CrimeCon last year, and we talked about the case with them.
Yeah, we talked about this.
That was
we
crazy.
know how you feel about it.
Oh my god, it's like a once in a lifetime experience for me
awesome.
and Jen anyway. But I'm curious. So if the gate's open, he will talk. I heard he just doesn't like. Well, maybe he doesn't like YouTubers too. I don't know. I'm afraid to go talk to people down there because I think they just hate anyone who is still interested in the case.
He's tired of people coming along. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. I just want to take a walk down there. I just happen to have a drone and a dog and a backpack full of stuff.
Old bat.
An old bat.
Me?
Okay, that's the other one in my notes. Thank you for mentioning that one. So I was going down my note. Oh, sorry, you guys. I do this. I'm like, you guys must be so annoyed with me. I start talking about something and then I just go down a whole other. This was one of the first ones I heard. The Tucker drywall. Right?
Yeah, that's what you were just talking about.
Yes, Richard Tucker.
Right.
Allegedly offered an employee $10,000 for parental rights for his daughter because allegedly because his wife wanted children. So some people were trying to claim that they were willing to purchase a child, which is the company that Dawn works for. And to me, it's like, that is the most, if you have to bend over backwards to come up with a theory, have you ever heard of cases like that where someone has bought a child? Like abducted and purchased a child? Have you ever heard of that? In any other case?
I haven't actually.
It's a insane theory, isn't it?
Right. I mean, but happens. That's another.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding. It's bizarre.
Yes. The big. Oh no. So it depends on what you're talking about. There is a 5 mines area, 5 caves. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, I flew the drone almost into it. It was too scary to I was going to hit something if I went too close. But there is one near the water. That's another location, you guys, I forgot about. Along Fort Patrick Henry Lake, there's a cave Jen and I found, which probably locals you probably already know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. It's at water level, so it's really hard to get to. But if you crawl in there, it's big enough for you to go on your elbows, and you
Yeah.
can crawl through. We don't know where it goes, and we don't know what's in there, but we were so curious. But we're Jen like already hit her head just walking into the.
Oh, it hurt.
We're like, if we just start doing caving like this, we really need helmets and pads.
We're in the thick of it,
Yeah.
like in the thick
So
of
there
everything.
actually is a cave we want to check out. I mean, it's
With proper
possible if someone has
gear.
a boat, and wanted to get rid of something, they could go to a cave in that particular area if a case is small enough and put it to the back. That's the reason I actually looked in that drug cave in the video about Warriors Path, Warriors Path Park. The search I did there, you'll see where I went into there was a drug cave. It was like a door on it, and that area
door.
there was another cave further down that I wanted to check out. See how many feelings have been trying to force me to take my son Hunter to talk to them. Oh, hey Andrew, good to see you. See how many feelings have been force you to take your son to talk to them. Nobody can force you to take your son to talk to anybody. I would love to talk to your son. I would love to talk to your son. I doubt that's ever going to happen. But that'd be cool. Andrew is Hunter's father. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I do not do. Is like I just assume certain people aren't going to talk to you, and so I don't even bother asking. It's like if they want to talk, and if they understand how we approach things, and we don't take sides and we're unbiased, they will come to us. There are cases where I'll ask families to talk, to do interviews and stuff, families of the missing, but
not something we would push.
Actually, I take that back. I did talk to a friend of Dawn and Candace at one point and asked, well, they are the family of a missing. So yeah. Tried to get an interview with them, but they didn't like the fact that you're intuitive. So
I'm sorry.
It's of the devil.
My intuition.
Dare you have intuition? Yeah, that would be amazing, Andrew. We would be fair. We wouldn't throw any hardballs, although he could probably handle any hardball questions. There's definitely, I've heard a lot of the things they've been saying about Hunter lately. I've seen the titles of YouTube videos about Hunter, and I'm sure it's not the greatest for Hunter. If you're fine with it, you're his dad. Of course, he is an adult now, but if you're cool with it, he's cool with it. I'll talk to both of you, actually, if everyone behaves. I've seen your brother.
You're talking about yourself.
I think it's your brother. I wouldn't want him on our channel. That guy is crazy. But you, Hunter, or if you just want Hunter or whatever, let me know. I don't know if you have my email, rdube02@gmail.com, or my Facebook page. You can get in touch with us that way too. Yeah. Thank you. So that was one of the stories, the Tucker drywall. That was one of the first ones I ever came across. It was insane. If you guys have investigated that rabbit hole and you heard more, I'd be interested.
That sounds interesting to me.
But like I said, that was a dead end because he's as far as I know, an upstanding citizen in the area. He is no record. And I don't know how they would hide a child that they purchased. That's like a high profile global case.
I know. I don't think that.
And then you had the whole, what was it, the Dudley Adjan thing, the coworker of Dawn Wells. So back in the day, they went at it. Like Dawn had accused Dudley at one point of stealing from him, and there was all this drama. So it's like, is Dudley involved in some way? So I went down that trail.
Oh my God.
And no, that guy's they didn't like each other at the end because I think he fired Dudley. I think Dawn fired Dudley. So that was a whole drama that was, I think, completely unrelated to the Summer case. That wasted a whole lot of time on a lot of channels. We went down, what other one? There's, of course, all the Andy stuff. at the beginning, we were hearing all the
Mhm.
theories about Andy.
Just like,
Until I interviewed his boss, and then I'm like, whatever. People, the thing about Andy, you guys, I'm sorry if I talk about Andy, I'm probably gonna lose people. Like that person
poor
who
Andy.
that
Like,
my gosh, that person.
sorry.
There are literally people who, if I take a drive with Andy to go look at an area, they're like, I'm unsubscribing from your channel. Like there are people that set in their opinions, not only about the guilt or innocence of the Wells, but like the guilt or innocence of community members, that they will unsubscribe from a channel if you talk to someone they don't like. That
Well,
blows my mind. Like, believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
It's okay. If you're really going to judge us because we're willing to talk to someone who you think is guilty, I don't know what kind of world you live in that your beliefs have to be true no matter what. And you can't
Yeah.
entertain any other possibility, and you just want to like close yourself off to anyone discussing anything
Right.
you have a hard time
Or
contemplating.
you're just scared because they might prove you wrong.
Yeah, I think that's what
You know
it
what I
is.
mean? You're just scared because they
You
might
know-
say something that's like, and they don't want to believe that they're wrong.
You have a good point.
Yeah.
People are so scared, and they're so scared of it. Like the whole thing that's called cognitive dissonance is
Mhm.
their brain, even when you're faced with the evidence in front of you, disproving what you believe, they will like be blind to it.
Yeah.
They won't even see it.
They are actively ignoring the facts just to, keep their beliefs.
Yeah.
I can't talk
I don't
anymore.
Hunter is an interesting person in this story to me, mostly because everyone knows he was there. You know, he was with Summer and Candace and Grandis, I guess they call her,
Yeah.
at the swimming hole. He told Chris McDonough, I believe, pretty much everything. There were some little things I would love to ask him about, and maybe if I say this, he may not want to talk to me, but I just would love to learn more about the story that he was upset at one point. There was a story that he was like rocking back and forth and just really upset. I think he might have said it was because he drank too much or something, but I'd love to explore that and the whole Andy thing, which has condemned Andy Bernard, his comment to Chris McDonough that there was a text on Candace's phone that said, from an Andy, it is done. I think that one statement from Hunter has been the reason why Andy Bernard has been on a lot of people's lists as what they call it, criminal number one or suspect number one. Regardless of Andy literally calling Pruitt and saying, "Hey, dude, I'm getting attacked by people. Let me know what's the deal? I'll come in and take a polygraph." He's like, "No, you're not relevant to this case." He said, "Andy Bernard is not relevant to this case." He got a recording on that, and there's still people. And I think it goes back to that comment from Hunter that was like, "It is done," and everyone's like, "Who the hell is Andy?" If Hunter's telling the truth. Now, if there's a reason why did he not like Andy? Did he want to throw Andy under the bus?
Is there a different Andy?
Is there a different Andy? Was there a different Andy? I heard there was a different Andy living down on the shack on the property or something, like a pedophile. Well, I can't say that. Whatever. Pedo. Like there are other Andys. Was there another Andy drug dealer? These are things like just sitting down with Hunter and like, who are the other players? Like who else was around leading up to it? What was the drama at the time? I know him and his mom, they were having a tiff, like not him and his mom, but his mom and Candace were having a tiff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd love to dive into that. I agree, Jackie. There's not a lot of people in the case who I will outright say we made a decision on, but I've talked to him enough, talked to his boss, not his boss, the owner. People always confuse the two. That I'm like, yeah, it's a waste of time to dig further on Andy, but a lot of people are still 100% on him. Me too. Us too.
Yes.
Did he say Anthony? I thought he said Tony. Andy. He said, and the text was from an Andy. I am like 100% on that one. I hope.
Well, that would blow
'Cause
everything
that
out
would
of the
blow
water.
everything out of the water. They're like, why is everyone saying it's Andy? I don't, yeah.
We cleared that up.
No, there was a, I think that's the case too. Yeah. There was, see how many stories there are, you guys? Like that, I think that was one of the stories
We'll
too.
just give them all. So we'll try to.
I'm just
figure
throwing
it
more
out.
out there, like ones I've come across. I'm just putting it out there because we're desperate. I want
Yeah.
people to help us dig into these.
Right.
If there's
You have a place.
location comes up, I'm like, let us know. We will go. Let us know. We will go.
Ooh, that T-shirt.
So there was the Andy stuff. We went down that road.
Yeah.
Beach Creek, John Severe's. Why did the John Severe plant come up on my list? Like I went down and searched the view there. I can't remember what. I think that was a psychic. I think that was a psychic.
Yeah.
And plus, fishing spots too. They go there all the time. I've seen
Yeah.
videos where they, again, this is assuming the parents. So, and then there is Candace went to Light Hollow Road. Holy cow! I've heard that one so many times. Candace went to Light Hollow. Was that where she was like seen running out of the woods? Because there's that story too. She was seen running out of the woods. It was in Light Hollow. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna share you guys a rabbit hole I went down related to Light Hollow Road that led me to. If you watched the search of Beach Creek where it empties into the river, literally, I brought Vern shirts down here. We did a sonar search of Beach Creek from. Let me show you that rabbit hole because that one. And this rabbit hole started with the rumor that Candace went to Light Hollow, and you're gonna get a little insight into how my mind works, and it's not a pretty thing sometimes because it just goes in like all the different directions, and hopefully it lands on the right path. But you're gonna see the logic I walked through just from the rumor that Candace went to Light Hollow Road, and I think was seen walking out of the woods. Hey, Real Rock and Robin,
Yay!
Missed you tonight. It's okay.
Tanya G, we did do.
We did do a milk jug video.
Yes, we did do that.
We went pretty far in depth on that one. I think we went as far as we could and gave all our opinions on
what could possibly
it meant. And we have a theory. We had a theory that we're very strong on.
If it had anything to do with the milk jugs, we had a theory about it.
The whole scenario.
Yeah, the whole scenario.
Our theory, and I guess maybe this whole other DCS thing hasn't really changed our minds. It has to do with them going to the grocery store, staying there for a long time in June, which like today, 95 degrees. I was sweating standing in one place. She was in the car.
But still.
That's
anyway.
The logic of that theory.
You can watch that. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely watch that one and let us know what you think. Yeah.
Put the. No.
Eve or Real Rock and Ramen, if you don't mind getting that milk jug link, sorry, I hate making people actually. Their mods actually work.
Just go
I'll put it
after
in the description. Okay, so Candace going to Light Hollow Road. Let me show you my process here. Let's see. So, no, this is great. I want people to understand so that they can also participate in the wonderful research world and help us try to figure out locations. We need help, you guys. And I want you, if you're interested in researching and doing this kind of stuff, please do. So I take a rumor. What I'll do is I'll take a crazy rumor. Maybe it's crazy. And so right after Summer disappeared, there was this rumor that Candace went to Light Hollow Road. Now I noticed that one of that area, Light Hollow Road's right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some Beach Creek. So basically they're saying she drove down Beach Creek, went to Light Hollow Road. And number one is the whole, there's another whole rabbit hole with Frank Light, of course, and people thinking that, but he lives over there in that area. But I did notice that's where Beach Creek starts. See this topo map? I found this map online from USGS Geological Survey. And I noticed Light Hollow Road is that's where the creek starts, like the well-known Beach Creek, right? So I'm like, and please don't laugh at my thinking, you guys. This is just what I was thinking at the time. I'm just trying to
You
like
can laugh.
brainstorm ideas, and I'm thinking that's where the creek starts. Well,
Yeah.
what if, and does the satellite show it? Not that well. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a hilly, mountainous area, and there are
Yeah.
some. If you look at the creek, there's like a house over here, but like the creek
It's pretty
is hidden
hidden.
from some houses in some areas. Like here, I
Yeah.
think it's hidden by trees. So is it deep enough though? I have not gone up Light Hollow Road. That road freaks me out for some reason. Maybe it's because there's like registered, offenders there, but I don't know. I don't, maybe I should. But my theory was, well, what if dumped in the creek? And actually, I
Yeah.
noticed there's a pretty good sized body of water too, but that's like on
That's
someone's
what.
side. See, that's a piece of water right there. That's a big.
Uh,
So that creek, I don't know. Maybe some of you who are local know how deep the creek is when it starts.
pretty
This is like top of the mountain, right? So I don't know how long it takes to get very deep in June. But so my thinking at this time was, well, okay, let's go on the theory that something was dumped in the creek at the top of the mountain and flowed down. Maybe it was
Yeah.
like high water time of year. Maybe that year had high water. Actually, I don't know if I researched that either, the water levels.
It's kind of
Yeah, that would be good. But anyway, so hypothetically, if that happened, well, where would it go? Could it potentially? I was thinking like, especially during the Hurricane Helene flooding and everything, like flow of water, very small remains
yeah.
flowing. Like there are remains
Yeah.
during the flooding went from Relief
Yep.
area,
Oh,
Elk Park,
yeah. Really far.
all the way 30 miles to
And that's with all kinds of stuff
right.
like that could stop it, along
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
plenty that could
You
stop
know
it.
what I mean?
So my thinking was, let's trace it, and maybe a good pattern of searches to follow in this case would be Beach Creek, like the places along the path that you can. I was going to search. I'll just be honest with you guys. I was going to methodically. This is how I work. I was going to methodically search every single
Every
inch of
inch.
this whole creek. And so what did I do? I started where it empties into the river because that's way over here is where it starts. It empties into the river here.
Where it
So
ends.
it ends there. So if it somehow made it to that point, it would have emptied into that part of the river, just upstream from the dam. I think it's
Mhm.
upstream. Downstream from the bridge, which you and I droned.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bridge we droned. Jen and I, so Vern and I took a sonar, did a little bit of the river, but we mostly sonared all of this, all of this, all of this,
You guys went all that
all
way.
of this, until we hit the houses area, and then it was blocked by logs, and it was just cluttered
Yeah.
with. So we sonared that, and that's the reason, you guys, why I went there, why we were doing that. That section, and I was going to actually try to do all of Beach Creek. That was until I was driving along Beach Creek. I think it was when I was in the Jeep with Andy, and I'm looking over. This is way over here, driving this actual road here closer to Ben Hill, and it dawned on me like this part of the creek. It's really shallow. Some of it is really shallow.
Oh, okay.
Like I saw some YouTubers actually looking at bridges over here, but if you drive along that road, it is so shallow, and
This time of year.
I don't know that anything could actually travel
Very far.
all the way
Yeah.
down. So I kind of lost
Yeah.
my steam after we found nothing at the river.
Right.
So that was that rumor, and that was why those videos came out. That was the reasoning behind those videos. It was the Light Hollow Road
Mhm.
theory. If any, I know the coming out of the woods claim came from one of the neighbors. I always forget his name. I don't know if he was talking about Light Hollow. But that's another one. Like if I knew where that was, I would go search in there. There's supposed to be a waterfall. So many people have mentioned there's supposed to be a waterfall right near Ben Hill. nobody has been able to tell me exactly where it is or don't want
Is that
to.
what we were searching for?
No,
and
that
we
was
just
Falls
gave
Creek.
up?
That was another one. Fishing hole.
Like, okay, it doesn't exist. Only people who live here know where it is. That's one of those things.
A lot of places around
Yeah,
here.
only people.
What else was there? And then there was so Laurel Run, of course, the whole Fred Hill Laurel Run thing. I'm actually thinking of going back.
Yeah.
Not because of the Fred Hill
Wait,
stories.
there's ammo box too.
So yeah,
Yep.
this is the crazy thing we come across. So Laurel Run was related to Fred Hill's claims, and the whole thing about a cave, which we found out from Cotton's family. It wasn't a cave where he fell, it was a cliff. If you want to get down that rabbit hole, just go look at our Fred Hill Laurel Run videos. Very beginning of when we started the Summer Wells case. But Logger Falls is fascinating because it is a place, if there were criminals in the area who wanted a very isolated place near Ben Hill, near Rogersville, that remains one of the most remote locations, and it's a public park. I gave up on it when I got frustrated about the whole Fred Hill thing, and I didn't believe his stories. But then I've been thinking lately, should we keep looking there? Maybe that is a place that someone could easily go. That, and of course, Warrior's Path. We haven't searched the cliffs, and you said yourself that looked.
Geocache. Remember when? I don't know where we were, but I found that little cache.
Yes. No. Oh yeah. That was Warriors. That was Warriors Park.
Oh, okay.
As I was doing research with one of our viewer/researchers, I was asking her for like where are the locations of the homesteads in Laurel Run and Warriors, because I wanted to find if there were any dug wells or any holes on these properties. And she came across this crazy. There's an ammo box geocache somewhere in Laurel Run. And it's not related to the case, but I'm like, could it be? Could someone have hidden? I want to find that freaking geocache.
That would be good.
And yes, your reading, when you did a reading and you were describing, look through the rock and look at for the lights going through the leaves. That was the first thing I thought of, is maybe you were describing the location of a geocache or something. What makes you say that? I don't know if I want to go down that road, but I am curious why you think that.
I mean, he was judged in many different ways. I wonder which way you're talking about.
Yeah.
There are a lot of sides about him.
Okay, so there's a theory out there that the Chimney Top Fire Tower, of course.
Oh Lord.
Which we went to Chimney Top. Turned out you could get to the fire tower that way. I discovered you can get to the fire tower turning left where we went right. And Jen's like, do we have to go back?
It was hard. It's not going to be on the day as hot as it was today. We do.
I had Phipps Island on my list, and I think that might have come from that was a psychic one, I think. Oh yeah, so the whole Light Hollow Road thing. I don't know if any of you heard this description. Did this come from like someone who lives there or another psychic? I can't remember. But the description I heard was, this is the comment. It's been said Candace went to Light Hollow Road, where there's an old shack and a black mule and a horse near Frank Light's house in Rogersville.
Interesting.
I think that might have actually been a message someone sent me.
Interesting.
And that's it. It's been said Candace went to Light Hollow Road, where there's an old shack, a black mule, and a horse near Frank Light's house.
Check that one out.
Any of you all know where there's a black mule and a horse and an old shack?
Hey,
near Frank Light's
Sharon
house.
wants to know if we'd ever consider coming to Canada and researching a missing person.
That is a very good question. Well, it's funny because Cher just asked that the other night.
Yeah.
Before now, I would have said probably not. If it's for Summer's case, we'll travel anywhere in the world, and I'll get to one of those crazy ones at a place I'm still thinking of based on one of Jen's readings. We'll go anywhere
Oh,
in the
God.
we'll go anywhere in the world for Summerwell's case, probably for the other cases we cover, but like I want to get to the point where we can actually, if we have a real cadaver dog who knows what she's doing, she's certified, and can actually find either either human remains or a live people. I think we're going to start doing that. I think we will absolutely out of pocket.
Especially once
we're
we're retired.
I say out of pocket. Add supported trips to help families who have missing people, alive or not alive. I think we want to. That's where we want to get. That's the dream. That's the dream. So yeah, I think we would go to Canada. We would go to the UK. We would go to Switzerland. Where's those beautiful mountains? Norway.
New Zealand.
Yes, someday I
Someone
believe
here from
we'll
New
be
Zealand.
we'll be doing that. I hope that's our dream. The horse was. Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Well, that makes sense.
The horse that escaped and everything
Okay.
during the news thing.
That's what I'd be.
So anyway, that's someone's theory. I
Interesting.
didn't get a lot of traction on that one. We might take a ride down there. Our Jeep is so recognizable. Maybe we'll take some other car. Maybe I'll rent a car to go down there. Oh man.
All right.
Another person said, go down Simpson Loop Road and check out the black pipe. Apparently there's a black pipe sitting out of the ground. Another property has a well. But that was all private property. So I guess the last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to skip everything else because I don't think there's anything
I am so tired.
that we could talk about. This is the last one.
Okay.
Do you have your notes? Do you have your shoot? Do you remember the comment about hell? Okay. So I need your help, you guys, on this. This is 100% trusting, like Jen's intuition, and her readings are interesting because if you haven't seen, she may start doing this again. If you haven't seen some of our little bit older videos, Jen, when she was exploring her intuition, she's like, well, what would happen if I just said a prayer to God and then just ask for guidance and then just write down whatever, right? It's called automatic writing. And as long as you protect yourself, you pray. It's not woo-woo. People locally have said, Ryan, don't deal with the woo-woo stuff. And most psychics, I just look at their readings and I'm like, well, if there's something interesting, maybe if I have nothing else, but I don't honestly take the psychic stuff that seriously, you guys. Jen gets a little ticked off when people call her psychic because she's not that
empath.
But it's more like just, hey, God, talk to me. Sort of like I actually had that happen today. I was driving to that search and I had an idea to go do something else. And I'm like, that God's calling me to do something for some reason. That happens. Like God will talk to you. And so she literally will just ask, like, where do you want us to go? What about the area we're going to? What do you want us to watch for?
I think going through everything with Helene and all that stuff kind of got me a little.
That definitely, yeah.
I don't know. It was just too much.
You stopped at that point.
Yeah.
I guess it was too overpowering.
Yeah.
One of her readings early on said, she wrote down something like, there is a place was it overseas? There's a place across the world, or
oh, I remember that. Yeah.
There is a place across the world called hell. And I'm like, well, everything's like not in our world. There's like in an underworld maybe, but then I'm thinking about what she wrote down, and I try to think logically, and I'm like, is there a place called hell anywhere? And so I did a search for hell, and there's like locations. So there's a Hell, Michigan, which is like I think looks like a tourist town.
That's it.
Really.
That's why it's a tourist.
But this surprised the heck out of me. I'm gonna bring it up because I want people to see. There is a Hell, Norway, you guys. I didn't know there was ever. I had no idea there was a place, a city called Hell. There's one. There's one in Norway, and this is the crazy thing about it is so it's on a big body of water. Obviously, it's the ocean, right? There's Oslo. Oslo, man, I want to visit that place sometime because Oslo down here is it Oslo? Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong. Hold on, am I in the right?
So hell.
Yeah. So, and the mountains here are unbelievable. But look at this.
Yeah.
There's a huge airport. Sorry, I'm scrolling so fast. Huge airport. There's train tracks all throughout up through here. Where's the train tracks? There they are. Train rails. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know if it means anything, but there's a lot of mountains. There's a lot of places to hide something. And the only thing I can logically tie to Hell Norway would be this. Okay, and please don't laugh. This is the best.
I'm laughing.
This is the best I can do. Is that if there was some form of trafficking that took place? I did some research on the areas in Europe where the destination countries for trafficked children, and the wealthier countries, unfortunately, Western countries are where a lot of them end up because that's where the money is. So I'm not saying anyone in Hell Norway is guilty. I'm just saying that's a theory. I mean, if she was trafficked, was that a message saying, hey, where did she end up in that whole scenario? These are the rabbit holes, you guys, and we go down all the time. And
that's what I was saying. You might not see it, but we're always thinking about it.
Always thinking.
It doesn't matter what else we're doing. We're always thinking about it and talking about it.
And we just scratched the tip of the iceberg. And that's why I'm like, you guys think about it too. And if you go down a rabbit hole and you discovered like, hey, this is a really strong possibility. This location could be relevant for X, Y, Z. Please don't, not anything, not like just a random thought. I get so many people who are like, hey, have you ever checked out the top of the mountain in this other state? And I'm like, how's that related? Like, at least make it somewhat like draw a line of
have
logic.
A reason, or if it's like an intuition thing.
Yeah, like the thing where people said Candace was seen Light Hollow Road. Well, if there's a theory that goes along with that starts with that, or something like that, you know what I mean? Like we could use some help, but we are. I'm going to let you guys know this. We are not. I said it earlier. We are not stopping the Seminoles case. We are not ever stopping Layla or Holland's cases. We're going to be dedicating our time to those cases. And this is basically, let me just.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to, oh, here we go. Coming up. These are the things we're doing. We're going to be going to Charlotte, North Carolina, probably coming up soon.
Yeah.
We're going to be going throughout the entire city. We believe this Michael Small case, we believe he somehow got a ride there and is potentially homeless. We're going on that assumption, and we're going to literally visit probably every single homeless shelter there is in that city. That's coming up. We are going to be having a dedicated search for Summer Wells once, at least every 2 weeks. I don't think I passed this by, Jen, but
no, sounds good.
this is what I was thinking going forward. And I'm saying this because for some reason people think when we cover other cases or we do other things that we're not going to return. So I'm just letting you all know every 2 weeks you should see something, unless we don't have a location, unless we can't, we run out of ideas. As long as we have ideas, we are going to be searching for Summer every 2 weeks. A dedicated search for Layla and or Holland every 2 weeks, which is a lot of work, but trying to commit to that.
Every other
good example, and there's other. So we may also be talking about missing persons cases. I'm planning on interviewing. I haven't asked her yet. Well, if she's watching this, I'm asking you. I'm potentially going to be interviewing Ethan Voigt's mother. I think it's about time that you all hear her story about Ethan and her struggles with the police and the slowness of the case and how tragic everything that happened. This was a Georgia case. If you haven't seen it, please go watch the video about the search for Ethan with Nug and Adam. I was there with Nug and Adam. We're continuing on that case as well. We're still probably going to cover disasters. Like I'm doing some research on the side about some of the wildfires that took place that to me seem suspicious. I know there was an official story around it. I'm still interested in debunking conspiracy theories and scams and corruption. And that one to me hinted that there's something weird that went on with those wildfires, and I want to find out. That doesn't take priority over Summer or Layla or Holland or Ethan. The missing persons cases are our priority, but I also love that kind of research. We're also covering CrimeCon this year in Denver, Colorado. So we'll probably do a live from CrimeCon in Denver. That's in September. So please keep your calendars open. Please join us when we're in.
Actually come to CrimeCon.
Oh, please. Oh, if you're in CrimeCon, please say hi.
Yeah,
see us.
Awesome if you could come.
I know Dolly's going to be there. See if I can track him down and say hi. Say if he'll say hi. We'll probably try to talk to some of the missing. It's always hard to talk to the families that are there because they're so busy. Some of them have a booth, which is great.
Yeah.
And you want to be respectful. Like we've seen YouTubers go in. We heard a story from Gabby Petito's family who was like harassed by YouTubers, and we don't want to be like that. So, if you are the family of a missing who's going to be at CrimeCon and you're willing to talk to us, please reach out. I'd love to just set up some time and talk to you. Jen and I talk to you about your story. We'd love to cover your story at CrimeCon. And we'll be live at least once, maybe multiple times. And the last thing, we will continue, even if it gets no views, sharing Moon's journey into human remains detection, being a cadaver dog, and live tracking. We want you guys to be part of her journey. We would love it if you would want to be the ones that, again, when she is that day, our dream in the future, when we're taking her on a search, or we go to Canada, or we go across the country and we take her to a place for a missing persons case and she starts finding people. I will feel it'll be really special to me to know that you all were with us from day one. Were with us watching when she couldn't do that, when she was struggling to like walking circles to find where in the world this is. You'll see on the videos. So I'm begging you to just take some time out of your day, watch the first videos we have up right now. We have 2 more coming, and just join.
I did a great job.
Join our journey with those videos, and there's going to be more to come. We'll make it interesting. It'll be integrated with our searches, obviously. So Butch, the trainer, recommended that when we take her with us on a search, he said we should start taking her now, even if she's not fully trained, because the moment you start introducing them to the smell and you reward them, they learn what it smells like. They learn how to smell a cadaver, and they'll act a little different. Like you'll see their heads snap if they smell that smell. So he's like, just start taking her with you and just watch her head. And if you come across something, you never know. She's not certified. You can't promise she's going to do it, but she might do it. And then he said at the beginning of the hike, we have a little box of the scent, and he said zombie juice, and you lay it to the side before you start hiking in. So at the end of the hike, if she doesn't find anything, then let her kind of self-discover that scent, and to her it's like she just found it, and you can keep on do that over and over. So yes,
thank you, Real Rock and Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
We agree.
So that's everything we have going on. I wanted to just fill you guys in because I feel like people have gotten misperception about our coverage of Summer's case. I now know how Don feels about us, because when we did that live, he posted a negative thing about us and I haven't heard from them forever. Like I said, tried to talk to them once, and he was mad, I guess, because we were implying that that the whole thing has nothing to do with the Summers case, and I guess it made him mad. So I did have to block him, unfortunately, and delete his comment. But I'm sorry,
Surprise.
Don. I'm sorry if what we said bothered you. We have nothing against you guys, and I always hoped that we could have talked. But I know you hate YouTubers because of everything you've been through. And I don't blame you. So, yeah, that's everything going on. That's everything upcoming. I just wanted to clarify everything about Summer's case so you know that we are on it and we're going to stay on it. But it's not all we cover. It's never going to be all we cover, but we are going to continue covering her until she's found, until there's justice, until someone is locked away and there's answers in that case. If people want to call us grifters or clout chasers, or I don't give a crap what else they say, we are going to continue going out in the woods and praying to God that we stumble across something.
Yep.
And we're just going to keep trying to be.
And I don't see how that can be misconstrued as anything bad, but whatever.
Maybe someday if we're actually making money off the channel, but like I said, the ad revenue pays for half of the expenses and the rest is out of our pocket. Maybe someday that'll change and I'll have to let everyone know, hey, we're actually making money on these cases, but we're not. And we don't charge anyone and we do the best we can. And I appreciate and we love all of you who have decided to come along with us and subscribe and follow and watch our videos and help us with watching our videos to continue what we do. Without you, we would not be doing this. Without all of you, we would not be doing this. If you're new here, if you just came across our channel, please subscribe.
Welcome.
Please subscribe.
Yeah.
Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our tribe. We are a tribe here. We're a tribe of people. We call ourselves a tribe because we don't like drama. Our tribe doesn't like drama.
Positive vibe tribe.
Positive vibes. We try not to get into debates. We block people who attack us. We don't take part in channels that attack other people. And our viewers, people here, are like that. They don't like drama. They want truth. They want truth. They want the pursuit of truth, whether it's in the woods or investigating a case. They just want unbiased truth. And that's what we're trying so hard to do and to build this community of people who believe in that. And it's amazing. Almost 25,000 people who feel the same way, who are on that mindset and they just want to get to the truth, especially with these cases of these children who are missing.
Definitely.
We need answers. We need truth in those cases. So,
so
that's my spiel.
Tonight, guys. Sorry if I was a little quiet. Just sleepy. Ryan talks a lot. So.
That's my spiel. I'm done. If you guys want to talk about anything, we can stay on to talk about anything you want to. That was everything I wanted to cover. I think Jen is running out of
steam.
Yeah. Oh, Dawn mentioned Tony Lemons. Okay, so that was another person that Dawn had mentioned. Thank you.
Yeah. Love you guys. I'm gonna take off now, but you can stick on with Ryan if you want.
No, I'm actually really tired too, and I've got to edit the. I do have to go, you guys, because I have to edit. Oh my gosh, hiccups. The Stephen Cloyd Celebration of Life. I really want to get that out Wednesday, so I guess I am going to go do that now. Thank you all for coming in here. It was nice to see so many people in here live. We usually don't have a lot of people live. We have a lot of viewers after. To see this many people live, you just warmed to my heart and made me realize you all are still watching us. So thank you.
Thank you. I thank you because when he gets grumpy,
I'm not grumpy. I do get sad because I love our tribe, and to think that we don't see them as much, and we will probably do more lives. I think for that reason, it makes me feel better about.
I mean, we used to do every Thursday and Sunday, so maybe we'll just go back to that again.
I think so, yeah.
Because we did Thursday, and we were doing Sunday.
That's true.
We
used to do it twice a week.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry we stopped, you guys, but we'll try to get back to it.
Caught up in the whole hurricane, and we got caught in the hurricane. It was a hurricane.
It was a hurricane. Doesn't it make you feel more centered, reconnecting with our
with our tribe? I kind of have been feeling a little bit off. I don't know.
And it started when we stopped doing lives. You felt that way.
Yeah.
You all motivate us. You really do. I think you're energy and your motivate, like your encouragement, it definitely drives and encourages us to,
Yep.
without a doubt. So we'll keep doing lives.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and we will see you next time.